We're coming to you from the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers, Maryville Baseball Park in Phoenix. And it's South Bay Zephyrs baseball on APN Sports. And we're at the 2017 Msbl World Series, where the Zephyrs take on the Canadian Playboys. South Bay is led by their center fielder and manager, Antone Henley, who has been coming to this tournament for several decades. And it's a great start for the South Bay Zephyrs. They come in with a record of 5 wins and no losses, and they have outscored their opponents 70-26 through the first 5 games. On the other side, the Canadian Playboys, they have played pretty well so far. They have a 3-2 record, and they have scored as many as 13, 12, and 22 in some of their games. So they come in with a record of 3-2. Dan Gutierrez, number 22, exchanging the lineup cards. On the other side is 21, Dave Kenny, the manager, or we're assuming he's the manager of this team. And the Canadian Playboys are hoping to get a victory here, which would assure them a playoff spot at 4 wins and 2 losses. It's a beautiful morning. The mornings and the evenings have been really nice here in the Valley of the Sun, but it's been warm. And it's going to be warm by the time this game is over. We should be in the upper 80s or low 90s by noon. And a good crowd here on hand for this one, our national pastime. Of course, you're watching apnvideo.com. And we'll have all the exciting play-by-play action coming up next from the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers, Maryville Baseball Park. Well, Frank Phillips will get the start here today for the South Bay Zephyrs. He, of course, is the manager and the general manager of the renowned Dallas-Fort Worth Phillies. Kevin Hawkins will lead things off for the Canadian Playboys. Our game time temperature is 81 degrees on a beautiful day. Check that, 76 degrees. And the first pitch is a ball, and this game is underway. Well, we'll give you the defense as we go along. Frank and company didn't have the lineup ready for us at the start of the game, so we'll give you the starting lineup for South Bay as they come to the plate, but they won't be coming up until the bottom half of the first inning. The Canadian Playboys, 3 wins and 2 losses. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the undefeated Zephyrs are at 5-0. Randy Kovitz is the starting pitcher for the Playboys. And a high fly ball out into right field. This is playable and out number 1. So the first batter retired on a routine fly ball to right field. 1 down. Of course, longtime great Joey Pashal getting the start at first base defensively for the South Bay Zephyrs. Here's a ball knocked down by the third baseman. He's up, he throws, and it will not be in time. Well, he did a good job of knocking down that ball by Randy Chylar. And they're going to rule that an error. And that'll bring up Hank Boleen, the starting third baseman. First pitch in there for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. We will have Dodger trivia question for our award-winning APN Sport trivia question, baseball trivia question. I'll be coming up in the 5th inning sometime, as this one is grounded through the right side base hit. So the Playboys have first and second occupied with 1 man out, and the cleanup hitter and the first baseman, By Braun. B-Y-E is his first name, By Braun. He's almost standing in the same spot, believe it or not, a couple of years ago. It's been more than a couple of years ago. First the pitch. And he swings and hits one out in the right center field. Antone Henley with the opportunity out there, can't come up with it, and this should plate the first run of the ball game. Braun heading for 2. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And that's going to be a 2-run double for By Braun, and he said bye-bye to that one. And now Charlie Baker. 2-0 Playboys here in the top of the first inning. I was going to say, do you remember when Ryan Braun came out, and it was here at Maryvale, and they had the podium, and they had the microphone and the cameras, and he just was like so upset. He was blamed for taking steroids, and I always think of that when I come in here for some reason. I don't know why. And it turned out he was doing them all along. So was a lot of other guys. So here's Charlie Baker. I'd do it too if it made me feel better. This one gets away from the catcher. And so the runner is at third. So after Frank Phillips gets the first batter out, an error, a single, and a 2-run double. And now Charlie Baker has another duck on the pond sitting there 90 feet away at third base. And he hits this one into the air, but the second baseman's got it. So that'll be the second out of the inning. And now the batter is going to be Randy Greenwald. So Robert Butlin with the play at second base. 2 out, runner at third. 2 runs in. Top of the first, Canadian Playboys. A victory here would assure them a playoff spot, and even if they don't win here, there's a very good chance they're going to make it. Fouled straight back. But after a pitch that may have been out of the strike zone, Phillips wants to retire this batter and leave that third runner at third. This one is slapped down the line, and that was foul. Phillips to the plate, and a swing and a miss, and he got him. That's huge. But the Playboys get 2. We go to the bottom half of inning number 1. It's the Playboys 2, the Zephyrs coming up. Randy Kovitz is the starting pitcher here today. Kovitz will have a defense with Seelig doing the catching. You've got Braun at first base, Hawkins at second, Boleen at third, and Heinz at shortstop. Corey in right, Greenwald in center field, and the left fielder is Dwayne Burde. Jesse Lowe will get things started here for the South Bay Zephyrs, who come in here with a record of 5-0. Lowe with very good speed out there. Takes inside a ball, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike on the South Bay Zephyrs left-handed hitting leadoff hitter. 2-1. Well, South Bay, for those of you who may not know, is out of the Los Angeles area, more specifically Compton, not Compton, but Carson, California. Compton's over in that area. Snoop Dogg territory. That's where the Snoop's from. Me and Snoop go way back. Interviewed him 2 years ago. Actually, I did. He was out here. He's very big on his youth football team. I'm not saying I'm a fan of him, but as this one is hit to the right side where the second baseman fields and throws out Jesse Lowe 1 down, but had a few questions for him, and he was really, he wasn't overly nice, but he answered the questions, and he seems to really love the kids. Well, here's Antone Henley batting in the number 2 spot. Antone, the multi-Gold Glove winning center fielder. And here's a fly ball out in the center field. A long run and a nice running catch by Randy Greenwald to rob Antone Henley of a base hit. Hang a star onto that one. 2 down. And now the batter is Chris Means. I think Chris is one of these guys. He's going to end up latching on to a few teams in this MSBL World Series. This is their 30th annual event. And some congratulations goes to Steve Sigler and his family for that. Chris Means bats with nobody on, 2 out. The Playboys scored 2 times in the top of the first. Zephyrs batting here in the home half. And he gets under that one, but lifts it back and out of play. Randy goes into the line and the pitch. And a fly ball, third base side. That's going to be out of play about 6 or 7 rows deep. Souvenir left, as Hawk Harrelson would say. And that is strike 3 called on a beautiful breaking pitch. And at the end of 1 inning of play, well, the Playboys have shocked the world, and they lead it by a score of 2-0. Top half of the second inning, Heinz, Lacey, and Pritchard. Called strike, 0-1. Starting shortstop, skies one on the infield, foul territory, and Joey in foul territory's got it, 1 down. That'll bring up one of many EHs, extra hitters, John Lacey. We're in the top of the second inning. The Playboys got 2 runs in the first on a 2-run double by their cleanup hitter, Braun. John Lacey up there, 1 out, nobody on for the Canadian Playboys, who come in here with a record of 3-2 and trying to hand the South Bay Zephyrs, who have already clinched a playoff spot, their first round-robin loss. And right now they lead at 2-0. 2 and strikes and nothing on John Lacey. My name's Jeff Lowery with APM Video Sports. That's in the dirt, 1-2. With Ken Pritchard, and then if they get that far, Lorne Michaels Nielsen. And as usual, the birds are chirping loudly here at Maryvale Baseball Park. Boy, he got jammed on that one as Frank Phillips ran that fastball up and in on him. And a comebacker that goes through the legs of Phillips, picked up by the shortstop, and then he bobbles it, and all hands are safe, and that'll be an infield hit. Hit number 3, one of the 2 runs that Phillips did give up in that first inning is unearned. First pitch outside to Ken Pritchard, ball 1. Yeah, we've seen the Canadian Playboys several times on APM Video Sports. That's high, 2 balls, no strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. A 2-run top of the first inning by the Playboys, and they lead at 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. Interesting, the biggest offensive output for both of these teams have been 22 runs in a game. The Playboys did it in Game 3, so too did the Zephyrs. Zephyrs have had 2 games where they have scored 20 or more runs. And then against a struggling Houston Skeeter team, they won 10-9 and got out of there, barely got out of there. They were down 8-4 at one point. Ronnie Stiegel's Houston Skeeters, one of our longtime friends and great customers down through the years. Phillips delivers, and a swing and a miss at some high heat. That is the second strikeout for Phillips, and there's 2 down, and the batter is going to be Lorne Michael Nielsen. And he is in a 10A position, if anybody cares, with Rick Sarita. And then Craig Corey on deck is in the 11AB position. He's in the A position with catcher Steve Seelig. Steve Bud Seelig. They call Steve the commissioner. And the catcher for the Playboys. And strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the second inning for Frank Phillips and the Zephyrs. They come to the plate in the bottom half of the second, trailing 2-0. First up is going to be Jeff Hunter. Jeff, the cleanup hitter for the Zephyrs, and swinging at the first offering from Randy, and 0-1. Stands deep into that left-handed batter's box. The next pitch is popped up, and this one is in the shallow right center field. A long run and a second nice play by Randy Greenwald out in center field. Playing a pretty good center field. He robbed Antone Henley and robs Hunter of a base hit. Now Rob Medell. First time through the Zephyrs lineup. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the second inning. And Rick Kuvitz slaps one to the third baseman and unable to make the play. You're always taught to run to the railing on a ball like that. You run to the railing if it's going to be close. Of course, don't run to the railing if it's only halfway between third base and the dugout. But, high and tight. Medell got out of the way of that one. You run to the railing because it's a little easier to lean over the railing once you're there, and you get the hand on the throwing hand on the railing, and then as this one's popped up to the shortstop, he's struggling with it but drifts out and makes the play, and there's 2 down. Then if it comes back a little bit, it's a little bit easier to just kind of do a short steps back towards the infield to make the play instead of trying to find the railing, and sometimes it's just easier to go there in the first place. So here's Mike Pedotti. Mike, one of the mainstays on this Zephyr team. A ball and no strikes to him, and that looked like a knuckleball. 2-0. A swing and a miss. I thought he called the first pitch a ball, and he did. 2 balls, 1 strike. It is so refreshing to have an umpire actually give you the count and not do it in front of him so everybody behind can see. And this one is out of play, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Pedotti, one of the tough outs here for the Zephyrs. The pitch. And he hits one hard, but right at the shortstop, who fields on 1 hop. He throws to first, and the side is retired. 3 up and 3 down for the second inning in a row for Randy Kuvitz. We head to the third. 2-0 Playboys. We go to the top half of the third inning. Jeff Lowery with you on the Arizona Play-by-Play Network, and the batter is right fielder Craig Corey. Corey, Hawkins, and Chylar will be the first 3 for the Playboys. And a ball hit up the middle where the shortstop flares it. He's up with it, fires to first, and he got him 1 down. Well, a sensational play by the Zephyr shortstop. 1 down. We go back to the top of the order. Kevin Hawkins hit a fly ball to right field his first time up. We're in the top of the third. Playboys at the plate, leading it 2-0. And a line drive out into left center field, and that's a base hit. Good job by, it's actually Jesse Lowe getting a start in center field. So Hawkins with a 1-out single. He's at first base, and the batter is Randy Chylar. He reached on an error in the first. Came around the score on a 2-run double by Braun. First pitch, ball 1. High fly ball. Who wants it? It is Jesse Lowe out in center field, and there is 2 down. Well, Frank Phillips on a roll since that double. He has yielded 2 hits. He has set down 7 of the last 9 he has faced, and now going up against the 1-for-1 third place hitting Hank Boleen. Top of the third, Playboys lead it 2-0. Ball 1, runner goes, and that half-hearted Ephus pitch gave the catcher no chance to throw him out. Doing the catching here is Trey Wells. hard-nosed catcher for the South Bay Zephyrs. A ball and a strike to Hank Boleen, trying to get the runner in from second base after a Hawkins one-out single and a stolen base. That one is fouled back and out of play, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that is foul. Well, congratulations to all of you on the Zephyrs who are Dodger fans, playing the Houston Astros in the World Series. Swing and a miss. First base was not occupied. It's going to be a tough play, and he's going to be safe. Too bad. That was another strikeout. Strikeout number 4. But unfortunately for the Zephyrs, he reaches base, and now first and third with 2 out. And I don't know. I almost would put this guy on base. I don't believe in loading the bases. But in this situation, the way this guy hit the ball last time, I would definitely at least be pitching around him. And the first pitch was low and away, ball 1. Top of the 3rd inning. Runner goes. Here's a throw down to second. That's not going to be in time. Second and third. Now you got 2 ducks on the pond. And a fly ball, shallow left field, and 2 more runs are going to come across. The Playboys lead 4-0, and Braun has all 4 RBIs. Well, the 2 runs score because on the 3rd strike, a ball got away from Trey Wells. I don't know if it was a wild pitch or a pass ball that allowed the runner to reach base and Hank Boleen and extend the inning to give Braun a chance to loop a 2-run single down the left field line, and he has 4 RBIs. Here's Charlie Baker, who popped up to the second baseman back in the 1st. So here in the top of the 3rd, the Playboys lead it 4-0. Chopper back to the mound. Who wants it? It's going to be Phillips, and his throw is high and goes over the head of Joey Pichel. And now the runners will be at second and third. The inning continues. Well, that is the second error on the Zephyrs defense, and then couple in the strikeout, the wild pitch or pass ball. That should probably be an error because of what was the end result of the next batter in Braun dumping a 2-run, 2-out single to left field to double the Playboys lead from 2-0 to 4-0. Here's Greenwald. Wells, nice effort though, out of play. 2 on. 2 out, pop up, need an out here if you're the Zephyrs. A shortstop over, and he's got it. That'll retire the side, but not before the damage was done. 2 runs come across. We're heading to the home half of the 3rd. It's the Playboys now leading it 4-0. First up for the Zephyrs is going to be Sam Adams. Sam fouls that one back and out of play. Chopper to the left side, deep in the hole, no chance. That's going to be the first hit of the ball game for the South Bay Zephyrs. It's the infield hit variety. So Adams is aboard. And next up, one of my favorite players, Pete Cesario. Pete was the most valuable player in the 2014 Msbl 55 and over World Series when he pitched 22 innings in about 24 hours, probably less than 24 hours. And even though he was not the championship winning pitcher, he got him into the 10th inning. He pitched a complete game in the playoffs, had 3 more innings. Can't remember if it was the semis or the quarters or vice versa, but 22 innings What a job. And the team went undefeated and won the Msbl World Series. One of the great games we've ever had on APN Video Sports. Strike 3 called. Pete can't believe it as he heads back to the dugout. So that's the second punch out for Randy. The batter is Robert Butlin. And Butlin might have been safe at first, but they're going to get him. And the play goes 1-3. Next up is Bob Life of Riley. He's up there with 2 out and a runner in scoring position as the South Bay Zephyrs trail 4-0. We're in the home half of the third inning. Sam Adams takes a lead at second. May have a play on out there, but instead Randy delivers and softly hits it down to third. He's up with it. The long throw across by Beline is in time, and we are heading to the fourth inning with the score: Canada 4, Los Angeles 0. Top of the fourth inning coming up here. The Canadian Playboys with a 4-0 lead over Frank Phillips and Antone Henley, South Bay Zephyrs. First up is Hugh Heinz. And a pop-up behind home plate. And what an effort and what a catch by Trey Wells. That's our Marucci, big play of the ball game. And you can hang a star on that one. What a sensational play by Trey Wells. Folks, I cannot tell you, if you've never caught a game of baseball, a short pop-up for a catcher is one of the most difficult plays, maybe not so much physically, but to pick a ball up with your eyes and then have the wherewithal to make the play as the shortstop is there, and he's got it. So a nice play by Jeff Hunter on the back as he had the back pedal to get to that one. So 2 down. 3 in a row set down now by Frank Phillips. And the next batter is going to be Ken Pritchard. Pritchard, a strikeout victim back in inning number 2. And he lifts a fly ball out in the right center field. The right fielder, the center fielder, and it's going to drop in. Well, there was not enough communication between the right fielder and the center fielder, and as probably Antone Henley would agree with me, I was a center fielder, Antone's a center fielder, that's your ball. But it'll go as a base hit. A 2-out single, and here's Rick Sarita. And Sarita, well, no, this is still Lorne Nielsen, so I guess they're not doing an A-B. Not really sure what their lineup. Thought for sure this was an A-B. So this is Lorne Nielsen at the plate with a runner at first base and 2 out. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The Playboys at the plate. A ball and a strike on Lorne Nielsen. And a hard hit ball, but Hunter gets the Sunday hop, and he'll flip the second for the fielder's choice. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And at the end of 3.5 innings of play, the Zephyrs trail the Canadians 4-0. This is the 30th annual Men's Senior Baseball League World Series. As we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, Randy, I believe it's Randy Kovitz. Hard to read the writing on the score sheet by the Canadians. Frank Phillips will lead things off, today's starting pitcher. Phillips, really, I mean, I know he's given up 4 runs in 4 innings, but I think he's pitched pretty well. He's, like I said, he's got 4 strikeouts. He's given up just 6 hits. Swing and a miss. What really has hurt the Zephyrs in this game is that strikeout with 2 out. The ball got away from Wells. Boleen was safe, and then Braun came up and dumped a 2-run single. Fly ball center field, and this guy's caught everything hit his way, and that's Greenwald in center. So 1 down. Top of the order, and Jesse Lowe, the outstanding center fielder. Bottom half of the 4th inning. And an excuse me ground ball back to the mound. Nice job by Randy throwing him out at first base. And there's 2 down. Now Joey for the second time. He was robbed on an outstanding running catch by Randy Greenwald in center field. His first time up. And the first pitch is way outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss. I'll tell you, you look at Joey, and he's been around a long time, and we always enjoy talking to him. He and Antone have a very similar batting stance. And when they see, if they see something middle in, they're not going to get cheated on their swing. There's no question about that. 2 out. Nobody on here. Did he go around? Trying to get the appeal, and that's not going to work. See if he can get something going here. That's a called strike with 2 out, nobody on. And the Zephyrs trailing 4-0 to the Canadians. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout to retire the side. So we are heading to the 5th inning of play, and it's been all Playboys, the Hugh Hefner's favorite Msbl World Series team. So we go to the top of the 5th inning, and first up is Craig Corey. Breaking pitch inside, ball 1. 5th inning of work for Frank Phillips, who has went 4 innings. Giving up 6 hits, 4 runs. 3 of the 4 runs are earned. Here's a fly ball, shallow center, and the second baseman drifts out, and Mutlin makes the play. Not a bad defensive play right there. 1 down. And we go back to the top of the order. Kevin Hawkins has flied to right, singled, and scored. And he takes the first pitch upstairs, ball 1. Frank Phillips trying to eat up some innings here because you got the playoffs starting tomorrow, and they're expecting to go 3 deep. Nice play by Phillips on the comebacker, and the throw on to first in time, 2 down. Randy Chylar has reached on an errand, scored, and flied to center field. He grounds one up the middle, and that's the 7th hit off Phillips in this ball game. So a 2-out single extends the inning, and here's the problem. If you don't get Boleen, then you're going to have to face bye-bye Braun, who is 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs. He's driven in all the runs in this game. And here's a ball hit down the right field line, and it's foul. So Hank Boleen trying to keep this inning alive to give Braun another RBI opportunity. And he skies one out in the center field, and that ball's going to be caught. That's Antone Henley out there, and that will retire the side. So 1 hit, 1 left on, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. South Bay shut out so far at Maryville Baseball Park, the winter home of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're trailing 4-0. And the first batter grounds one to the second baseman. He knocks it down. He will not have a play at first, and that'll be an error. Got a courtesy runner at first base. E4 is the ruling, and now the shortstop, Jeff Hunter. He too was robbed on a nice play by Greenwald in center field. So here in the bottom of the fifth inning, the leadoff hitter is aboard for the second time in 2 innings and the second time in 5 innings in this ball game for the Zephyrs. I think if you could look up the stats, at least at the major league level, and you can, as this one's dribbled up the line, tough play, throw to first, and they threw it away. A pair of errors has put the Zephyrs in business here. And they will be at second and third with nobody out, and Rob Msbl coming to the plate. Well, check that. Let's see. Yep, this is Rob. Unless there's another 24 on the roster. Got to double check these things. Ball 1. 5th inning of work for Randy Kuvitz. And he has pitched to Jim. He has given up just 1 base hit in 4 innings. Here's a chopper to shortstop. They will concede the runner, but it took a bad hop. 3 straight errors by the Playboys. The runs will score, and Rob Msbl is on. Give him credit for an RBI. And now the manager coming out, and this certainly isn't, well, it's not totally the pitcher's fault. He did commit one of the errors. And Dave Kenny, the manager, just making sure that kind of settle him down a little bit. You make 3 straight errors to start an inning when you're up 4-0, and, well, you know, that kind of puts some pressure on a team. Now Mike Pedotti, and what a stop that time by the catcher. One ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 1-1. Steve Seelig doing the catching behind the plate here. And that ball got a piece of him. What's the call here? Did the ball get a part of the bat? Oh, he leaned in. And so they are not going to award him, and you never see that, but you know, that's been a rule I've heard about for years. I mean, you have to make some effort to get out of the way of the ball, but you never see an umpire actually bring a hitter back to home plate. So they're going to talk things over. We got a break in the action here, and they're going to send the runner at second back to first. And Pedotti still up there as he chops one foul. So the lead has been cut to 4-2. A costly error by the Canadian Playboys shortstop Hugh Heinz, allowing 2 runs to score. Runner at first base, nobody out. Zephyrs down now 4-2. Both runs are unearned, and the runner at first base is, should he score, be an unearned run. Popped him up down the left side and out of play. When you see a pitch like that last one by Randy that goes sailing over the head of the hitter, who's Mike Pedotti, 0 for 1 at the plate, then you start to wonder if maybe, you know, the mechanics are failing him. Maybe he's starting to tire. Now he tries to collect himself, and after a short pause, he delivers ball 4. And this is starting to become a very long inning here. The next batter is Sam Adams, first baseman. First pitch in the dirt, and an excellent job, but both runners will move up 90 feet, second and third. Antone Henley, and that's it. I mean, Randy, I mean, one-hit shutout baseball for 4. Comes out here, 3 straight errors, and it all came apart. And you kind of feel for the pitcher. I mean, of course, he committed one of the errors. So Hank Moline is in. Randy goes 4 innings, 1-hit baseball. Strikes out. He has 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. And now gives way to third baseman Hank Moline. Facing Sam Adams in the pitch. In there for a called strike. And it is 0-1. Still nobody out. Runners at second and third. The tying run in scoring position at second base. And it's quickly 0-2. Popped him up. This is a big, big first out. The shortstop under it got it. So Hugh Heinz taking care of business. 1 down. And Pete Cesario jumps all over the first pitch and fouls it off. 0-1. And he has 2 big rips. The first 2 offerings from Moline. The 0-2. And a high pop-up in the right field, and that ball's going to drop in for a hit. 1 run will score for the Zephyrs. Here comes the throw to the plate. They'll be at first and third, and Pete Cesario comes through with an RBI single to right field. That cuts the deficit to 4-3 with the tying run at third base. Now Robert Butlin. First pitch outside, ball 1. So first and third occupied here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 3 runs have come across. And the next pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes with Bob Riley on deck. So 3 consecutive errors by the Playboys on defense started the inning. Pete Cesario had a bloop single to drive in the 3rd run. Actually, Rob Medell had a ground ball to the shortstop. He booted the ball. Could have went either way. It was a really bad hop. I mean, it took a tremendous bad hop, and that is in there for a base hit. So Robert Butlin is going to plate the tying run for the Zephyrs. And he's going to go all the way to second base. Mike Pedotti will score the tying run. We're locked in at 4 apiece. Every run that scores in this inning will be unearned. So now the batter is Bob Riley, second and third occupied. So now the go-ahead run is out there at third. Close the book on Randy Kovitz. 4 innings of 1 hit, no earned run baseball. Fly ball center, and Greenwald makes the catch. Here comes the throw in, and the run will score. And Pete Cesario, I don't know what it is with Pete. He's always getting tangled up at home plate. But he scores the go-ahead run on a sacrifice fly by Riley. And the Zephyrs have their first lead of the game. And it is now 5-4 with a runner at third and 2 down. And the next batter pops it up to the first baseman, can't make a play. Well, tough play over there for Bye-Bye Braun. The speedy Norm Bird at the plate. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to charge an error on Antone Henley at the coach's box down there. He did have to go a long ways for that ground ball. Squib foul up the line. Couple of strikes on Norm Bird. Seen this guy make some nice plays out in the field, and a chopping ball, and that one gets through Antone Henley. Here's the pitch. That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out. Runner at third. 5 runs in. And actually, that was 3 and 2. That's ball 4. So back to the top of the order, and Jesse Lowe. If Joey Pashaw gets to the plate, we would have batted around. And a stolen base attempt and nearly cut off by the pitcher. And probably a good thing. You don't want that runner from third coming in on the score. So that'll be a stolen base for Burt. No defensive indifference. And now Jesse Lowe, who is 0 for 2, can break it open here a little bit. Get some breathing room for his team, who leads at 5-4. They just took the lead after trailing 4-0 going into this bottom of the 5th. And a ground ball to third. He's up with it. He throws, and he got him. Side retired. 3 errors paved the way to 5 unearned runs. We go to the 6th inning of play from Maryvale Ballpark. It is now 5-4 in favor of the South Bay Zephyrs, and you're watching APN Video Sports. Frank Phillips is in his 6th inning of work, and he'll be facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. And Braun, 2 for 2, has driven in all 4 runs for the Playboys. That's foul. The Playboys wanted to first the pitch to Braun. And a chopper to the right side, and Braun is going to be aboard. So he has been on base all 3 times. He's 3 for 3, and here's Charlie Baker. Baker reached on an error last time and has popped up to the second baseman. The Canadians have asked me, being that they are the Playboys, that they'd like to have a moment of silence for the death of the late Hugh Hefner. Okay, there's our moment of silence. Grounded foul. Yeah, I'd almost say he was the luckiest man alive, wouldn't you say? Oh, my goodness. I would say. Here's a ball down the third base line, and that's a fair ball. So the first 2 have reached against Frank Phillips, a couple of base hits. Now Phillips, quick meeting of the minds, and now the center fielder, who's been a big part of the reason the Playboys are only down by 1. His good defense, he's probably saved a couple of runs, and Randy Greenwald. And he's looking for his first hit, squares the bunt, and fouls it off, having a little trouble getting that bunt down. We're in the 6th. He tried to bunt that ball, and it hit him. But I think it got a piece of the bat. Nonetheless, he offered at it anyway. And that is a good-looking pitch. I don't know what was wrong with that one. And Frank Phillips, and after all the games we've done for this team and watching Frank, I know when Frank's upset, and he wanted that call. And probably should have got it. He struck him out swinging nonetheless. An outstanding job by Frank Phillips as he strikes out his 5th batter of the day. And a big, big first out when you're protecting a 1-run lead. Here's Hugh Heinz. Heinz is looking for his first hit. He was robbed on our Marucci play of the day, Trey Wells. And here is a ball lifted out into left field. Tough sun, and he corrals it. He makes the catch. Nice job out there. Chris Means, I mean, you know, you think, gosh, how hard can it be? But he is looking right into that sun. That is not an easy catch, and he made the basket catch, had the ball go up against his chest. And now with 2 down, the next batter grounds the short. If they can field it cleanly, they're out of the inning. And what a job by the Zephyrs, and what a job by Frank Phillips. A 6-4 fielder's choice ends the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Joey Pashal will lead things off. And a 5-4 lead for the Zephyrs, looking to go undefeated in round-robin play. A big swing and a miss as we start the home half of the 6th inning. 5-4 Zephyrs. And wow, he called that a strike? And the one that Frank Phillips, where it was over the plate? You got to be joking me. Come on, that's a bad call. That was more of a strike than the other. So there's a little makeup call we'll give to him. Actually, I think he's calling a pretty good game, our home plate umpire here. Pitch inside. Joey has struck out his last time up. Antone Henley batted in the number 2 spot to start the game, but then came out of the ball game. Now he's got the hard-hitting left-handed hitter Joey Pashal up there, and he draws a walk. Good start because the Zephyrs need some runs. You're watching the 2017 South Bay Zephyrs. This is Zephyr Baseball on APN. Chris Means... Now let's see, now 22 up there, and this is Dan Gutierrez. Known Dan for many years now, and one of the great baseball people that come down to this tournament. There is a stolen base attempt, and the runner is going to be safe. That's Antone Henley, pinch running. So Antone comes up with a stolen base. Well, if he's courtesy running or pinch running, whatever you want to call it, for Joey, he obviously did not come out of the game because he was hurt. So let's see if Dan Gutierrez can come through. Good pitch. Moline is in his 2nd inning of work, and he got roughed up a little bit. Gave up a single, a double, a couple of walks in relief. And here's a fly ball out in the center field and a base hit. Here comes Antone Henley. And Dan Gutierrez coming through with a base hit to center field. So they're on 1st and 3rd. And the batter is Jeff Hunter. He has flied out. He has reached on an error and scored. And a pop-up that's out of play. Hit hard. And down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. Jeff Hunter has bladed one. He's got a 2-base hit as he goes into second base. And here comes the trailing runner, and he's going to score. 2-run double for Hunter. And the lead is extended to 7-4. That's going to probably be, well, let's see. That's going to be it for Moline. Nope. He's going to stay in there. First pitch called strike. So Rob Medell had a sharp ground ball to the shortstop that took a wicked hop. They've actually changed that to a base hit. And here's a ground ball. It slips through the infield, base hit. Runners will be at first and third, so Rob with his second hit. And now Mike Pedotti, who has grounded to short, walked and scored. First and third, still nobody out here in the sixth inning. And it's 0-1. Nonetheless, the Playboys starting pitcher, Randy Kovitz, not going to be charged an earned run. Popped him up, and boy, did they need this out if they can make the play. The pitcher can't make the play, but it's going to be ruled. Well, he's going to be aboard. So that's going to be an error. And the bases are loaded. The bases are loaded for Sam Adams. And right now the Zephyrs have a chance to blow this one open. They lead at 7-4 here in the sixth inning. And a line drive knocked down by the pitcher. He'll come home, try to get one, and plenty of time. And so the fielder's choice will go 1-2. Bases remain loaded. And the batter is Pete Cesario, who had an RBI single and a run scored in the fifth. He swings and wallops one into left field, and this ball's going to be caught on a fine catch out there in left field. Tagging and scoring, Pete Cesario is his second RBI at bat. And with the run scoring, it is now 8-4, the largest lead of the day for the South Bay Zephyrs on the South Bay Zephyrs Baseball Network. Going to bring up Robert Butlin. Outside ball one. Robert has grounded out. He is doubled. And it's popped up by Butlin off the end of the bat. The first baseman, and Braun drops the ball. And all hands are going to be safe. That's another error. That is the second of the inning. And the bases remain loaded, 8-4, and the batter is Bob Riley, who had a sacrifice fly his last time up. Beline is still in there. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. 3 runs have come across. It's 8-4 South Bay Zephyrs. That's a strike. Eight to 4. Playboys led most of this game, as that one is a squibber up the line, and the pitcher will tag the runner, and that will end the inning. Errors, walks have really hurt, and key hitting by the Zephyrs, and we go to the top of the seventh inning with the score, South Bay 8 and the Playboys 4. Well, a new pitcher on the mound. Well, Frank Phillips, I'll tell you, you got to tip the cap. He was sensational, I think. He gave up a few unearned runs, but all in all, I mean, to go 6 innings, give up 4 runs in total, and more importantly, he throws up goose eggs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. So we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Pete Cesario is in to close things down for 3 innings. And this ball is going to be rocketed right at the shortstop. He fields, he throws, and the tag, no, safe. Well, nice try out there at shortstop. So Ken Pritchard is on. That's a base hit. And the batter is going to be Rick Sarita. So Sarita batting for the first time. Well, the wind's starting to pick up. We'll try to make an adjustment as the first pitch is a called strike. It's time now for our APN Sports award-winning baseball Dodger trivia question today. Dodger trivia forthcoming. A ball and a strike to Rick Sarita. Runner at first base. Here in the top of the 7th inning, the Playboys come in with a record of 3-2. The undefeated Zephyrs at 5-0. 4 players in LA Dodger history. I'm sorry, 4 players since 1997. Here's a drive out into left field and a diving catch. Are you kidding me? Samuel Adams, you are the man. Oh my goodness. The Marucci play of the day has been stripped away from the catcher Trey Wells, and it's been handed over to Sam Adams. Raise your glass to Sam Adams. That was a phenomenal play. The defense today, it's either been great or it hasn't been too good. We've seen a lot of errors in this game, both sides. 4 players have hit 40 or more home runs in LA Dodger history. 4 players, as this one is hit hard out into left field, and that's going to be a base hit for Steve Seelig, their catcher. So 2 on with 1 out. 8-4 is our score. And now Kevin Hawkins. First pitch called strike, 0-1. So 4 players since 1997 have hit 40 home runs in a season in a Dodger uniform. Can you name them? Here's the pitch. And a chopper out in front of the plate. Who wants it? Pete Cesario will throw on to first. And he got him. That's a nice play there by Pete, getting off the mound quickly. And now runners are at second and third. 2 down in the inning. That's the second time in a row Hawkins has bounced out pitcher to first. Now Randy Seiler. Good fastball outside corner, a called strike, and it's 0-1. Well, that trivia question, when I first glanced at it, I had to think about it. And I got all 4 of them. Here's a ball hit to shortstop. He's going to go the long ways to first, and he gets his man, and that retires a side. So an outstanding job of pitching out of a jam. 2 on with 1 out, and 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark. Curtis Daniels will be the 3rd pitcher here employed by manager Dave Kinney and the Canadian Playboys, who are in mourning over the death of the late, I don't know how great he was, well, apparently he was, Hugh Hefner. So that'll bring up Mr. Burt. Walked and stolen a base last time. So Curtis Daniels on the mound. And here's a rope out into left field, base hit. Well, Burt has been on base both times. And a good start for the Zephyrs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're going to add Dennis to the bottom of the order here. He will take a first pitch strike, or he's batting for Jesse Lowe. So I'll wait until I see who comes on deck, and I'll let you know if he's added to the bottom, as this one is popped up on the infield, but it's right back towards us and out of play. Runner goes. That's going to be an easy steal for Burt. Burt is like the Bake McBride of the Zephyrs. If Antone Henley, is the Gary Maddox, then Burt has to be the Bake McBride. I love Bake McBride, and I didn't like the Phillies. I was not a Phillies fan. I grew up in Cincinnati, and actually I was a Pirate fan because the Reds made me upset when I was a kid. They traded Tony Perez and Don Gullett away. But nonetheless, But I always liked Bake McBride. He had that big afro coming out of his hat, and the guy could fly. And he had the strangest batting stance. But I look back on those days, and now I kind of love those teams I hated. And that's high ball 4. So Dennis is aboard. And now the batter is Tom Bear, who had some action at second base. So the first 2 have reached. Bird a single and a walk to Dennis. And Bear giving up his at-bat, even though his team's up by 4, trying to move these runners up in scoring position. And he has been unsuccessful the first 2 times. 0-2 on the former Chicago North Cub. And he takes strike 3 called. He did not like the call. 1 down. First strikeout for Curtis Daniels. Trey Wells, the catcher, who had 1 of 2 Marucci big plays of the game in this one. Greenwald had a great running catch earlier in the game for the Playboys. Well, let's see if the Playboys can push across another insurance run. Bottom half of the 7th inning, 4 players since 1997 have hit 40 or more home runs in a season while wearing an LA Dodger uniform. Who are they? Ball 4. So Wells draws the walk, and that loads the bases with 1 out. And here's Joey Pichel. So I think Wells was hitting for Jesse Lowe. So the catcher finds his way on base. Base is loaded. And let's see if Joey can put this game out of reach for the Zephyrs. Bottom of the 7th inning. And he swings and wallops one, and a sliding catch out in right field. Throw comes in, and the bases will remain loaded, but that was an outstanding play, and truly a great play by Craig Corey in right, if that's still Craig out there. So that number 2 spot has been snake bitten. A couple of tremendous plays. And now Chris Means will get back into that number 3 spot. Gutierrez had a base hit while occupying that 3 hole. Curtis Daniels is saying, where in the world was that one? Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 8-4 Zephyrs batting here. Bases loaded, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Strike 2 called. So the runners will be going on the next delivery from Curtis Daniels. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, the pitch. And a looper to the right side. The second baseman fields on a big hop. Throw on to first, and we head to the 8th. Still 8-4 in favor of the Zephyrs. You're watching APN Video Sports and the 30th Annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. Wind kicking up here, blustery day for our national pastime. Boleen will start things off. He'll take a strike, and it's 0-1. Boleen has singled and scored. He struck out and then came around to score on a 2-run single by Braun, and then flew out to center field. So he's 1 for 3, but he has 2 runs scored. Braun standing on deck is a 3-for-3 and has driven in all the runs for the Playboys. Here's a little looper to center field, base hit. So Boleen with his second hit of the ball game. Pete Cesario in his second inning of work for Frank Phillips, who is in line for the win. Phillips went 6, gave up 9, 4 runs. I think technically only one of those should be earned because the ball, I don't know if it was a pass ball or a wild pitch that allowed Boleen to reach base with 2 outs in a 2-run third inning for the Playboys. But I think if I was making up the rules in baseball, I would say 1 earned run. But probably technically 3 earned runs. But 6 innings, 3 earned runs, that's pretty good. A ball and a strike to Bye-Bye Braun. Doubled in 2 in the first, singled in 2 in the second, and had an RBI, or he had a base hit his last time up. I apologize for the wind. I know it's kind of, there's not a lot we can do about it. And here's a ball hit down the first base. That looked almost foul. Joey Pichal to the bag, and he'll take it for the first out. So the runner moves up into scoring position for Charlie Baker, who is 1 for 3. Eight to 4, we're in the top of the 8th inning. This game has been running a little long. This could very well be the last time the Playboys get a chance to bat, depending on how long they are into this inning and how long the Zephyrs take in the bottom of the 8th. We may not see a 9th inning here. The Zephyrs have outscored their opponents 78 to 30 through these 5+ games. Pete Cesario on the mound. Looks like Tom Bear out there at second base. Charlie Baker. High fly ball left field, and the ball will be caught. And Sam Adams, another nice running catch. 2 down in the inning for the center fielder, Randy Greenwald, who has been impressive. Courtesy runner is going to be Charlie Baker out there for Hank Boleen. Pitched 2 innings of baseball and was staked to 5 of the 8 runs. Is that correct? Yep, 5 of the 8 runs charged to Boleen. And he stands to be the losing pitcher. Frank Phillips stands to be the winning pitcher, and if Pete finishes this out, it would qualify for a save. Even though the lead is too high, he would have pitched 3 innings of relief to close it out. That's a save. Randy Greenwald. Well, again, the 4 players with 40 or more home runs in a Dodger uniform since 1997. Mike Piazza hit 40, which was a career high with the Dodgers in 1997. Gary Sheffield, 43 in 2000. Andre Beltre, future Hall of Famer, 48 in 2004. And Sean Green did it twice. He hit 42 in 2002, but the year before that, he established an all-time Dodger record for home runs in a season with 49. Sean Green. So Green, Beltre, Sheffield, and Mike Piazza, the 4 that have hit 40 or more home runs. And obviously guys like Campanella and Duke Schneider and Maybe a couple of others in Dodger history have done the same. As the inning is over, and a good job by Pete Cesario. A couple of shutout innings. Zephyr pitching has thrown 5 straight shutout innings against the Playboys. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 8, it's 8-4. And here's a ground ball to first. And the pitcher covering, Hunter, is going to be retired 3-1. Well, Hunter had a 2-run double, and it was clutch in the 6th inning. And he has scored a run, driven in 2. That'll bring up Rob Msbl, and he's been very active. An RBI single, a run scored, a single again in the 6th, and another run scored. And he has produced 3 runs altogether. Well, it's been a competitive game, and the one question right now is, will the Playboys, because there is a 3-hour time limit, you cannot start a new inning, a top of an inning, after the 3-hour mark. So we're really close. We didn't get the official start time by the umpire, but we are very close to that 3-hour maximum. Msbl is 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI. Going up against Curtis Daniels, and a fly ball to right field, and that's going to be out number 2. So another fine play in right field, this time by Kevin Hawkins, who started the game at second base, 2 down. And Mike Pedotti batting for the 4th time. Special thanks to Antone Henley. What a pleasure. I mean, this guy, throughout the year, we don't talk, on a really consistent basis, but from time to time throughout the year, we get a chance to just sit on the phone for an hour and talk baseball. And these Zephyr games, and he says I'm the voice of the Zephyrs, and that's an honor for me, guys. And I really, truly appreciate the nice comments that you guys make, and we really enjoy it. And when you guys win, it just makes this so much fun. And when you guys lose, I feel it in my stomach too. So we wish you the best of luck the rest of the way on this tournament, as this one is bounced to the right side, and this might be trouble. Here's the throw. Good job. Got him. Good hustle by Mike Pedotti down the line, and good defense by the Playboys. So we go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Playboys will get a chance. Well, Pete Cesario is going to give way to Jeff Hunter. So he goes 2 innings of shutout baseball, and now Hunter will come on. This is not a safe situation, and I don't think Pete cares if he lost his save opportunity or not. He will take the victory. Hugh Heinz takes ball 1. We're in the top of the 9th inning. It's an 8-4 lead for the Zephyrs. You're watching Zephyrs baseball on APN Video Sports, and our website is apnvideo.com. A ball and a strike to Hugh Heinz. New pitcher is Hunter. And a fly ball, foul and out of play, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hugh is 0 for 3, and a swing and a miss. And there's 1 down. So a good start for the top of the 9th inning here for the South Bay Zephyrs on defense. And next up is today's starting pitcher, Randy Kovitz. Randy pitched, I thought he was outstanding. He went 4 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball, top of the 5th. First 3 batters reach on an error, and he's out. Actually, he did face the first 4, and he got charged with 4. I was mistaken earlier. I think I said that he was charged with 3 and Boleen was charged with 5. They were both charged with 4 runs. But every run in that inning was unearned. Pretty good wallop at that one. Frank Phillips, 6 innings of 9 hit, 3 earned run baseball, and 5 strikeouts. 2-strike pitch, and Randy swings and lines at the center field base hit. Barehanded by Antone, and the throw to first made it a lot closer than you would have ever thought. That is hit number 13 for the Canadian Playboys. But you know what? There hasn't been a lot of walks. And that's why they haven't scored a lot of runs. You'd say 13 hits, they should have maybe 6 or 7 runs. The walks have been, I don't even think, no, there is not one single walk by a Zephyr pitcher. And every time I say something, why did I say that? Because every time I say something like that, it happens. I'll say, hey, Antone Henley is a great center fielder, and then, you know, one gets by or something. You know, it happens. I'm just picking on Antone. But nonetheless, it is an 8-4 lead here for the South Bay Zephyrs. They're going to go to 6-0 if they can hold on, but there's a runner at first base and 1 out. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Ken Pritchard at the plate. Pitch. Way outside, ball 4. And there it is. It is unbelievable. Uncanny how that happens. So that is the first walk issued by a Zephyr pitcher here today. First and second, 1 man out. And this game is not over yet. Curtis Daniels, the batter, infield at double play depth. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 from the new pitcher and Jeff Hunter. In relief of Frank Phillips' 6 innings of 9 hit, 3-run baseball, gave up 4. Swing and a miss. Daniels down 0-2. Pete Cesario gave up 3 hits. And no runs. And that one is chopped foul. Pitch. He struck him out swinging. The ball gets away, moving runners to second and third. Daniels is out. First base was occupied on the 3rd strike. And it all comes down to Steve Seelig, their second baseman. Seelig had a base hit his last time up. Hunter trying to close it out, and here's a ball hit hard down the right field line, and a basket catch, and the ball game is over. A fine catch by Rob Msbl. He saves 2 runs, and that ends the ball game. Our final score, the Zephyrs 8 and the Playboys 4. The winning pitcher is Frank Phillips. He goes the front 6. And a tremendous shutout performance by the bullpen. And how about this pitching? 6 straight shutout innings. And stay tuned for our Zephyrs postgame show coming up next on the Arizona Play-by-Play Network. This is Jeff Lowery saying so long from Maryville Baseball, but coming up, the Zephyrs postgame wrap-up show.
Photobomb me.
All right,
It was a good game. You guys played a little shaky at the beginning, came back and did a little better job. Had a great time.
All right.
as we always do down here. Now let's get ready for the playoffs.
All right. Great game.
Thank you.
Good to go 6-0. Great to be back with the Zephyrs. Playoffs start tomorrow. Let's get them.
All right.
All right. Hey, it's good to get a win. This field has positive memories for me. Won a championship here. Hopefully this is something for greater to come later on. We start our quest for a championship. Let's hope we can do it this year. It's good to be a Zephyr.
All right. Congratulations. All right. Say something?
Oh, well, we're glad to make it to the playoffs. We're excited about it. We played really good today to come back in the last innings. That's what the game's all about. Don't give up.
That's right. Good game. All right.
Antone Henley, the voice is a little gone, and I'm glad to say that we're off to a good start in this 55 Cactus. We have a 6-0 record, and we have a bye for the first round. So I am very pleased at our team, and looking forward to us starting the playoffs. We have a bye first round, won't play in the second round until like 1:45 at Papago. Hopefully we win a couple of games, and we will see you in the World Series Finals over in Hohokam on Thursday. Thank you very much.
All right. Good.